Good morning, everyone. I am Thomas Downing, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the High Desert Center for Spiritual Living in our beautiful community of Apple Valley, California. We are an all-inclusive center of love where we recognize and celebrate each person as a divine and unique expression of the one Spirit in all. Together, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone. We teach and embody the science of mind principles to support our core values of love, healing, spiritual growth, oneness, abundance, service, and diversity. Welcome home. Thank you to those joining online today as well. We're so happy that we get to share this time with you together. Now I invite you to please join with me in reading the opening community affirmation. It's in your program on the left side and up on the monitors as well. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that all thought is created, and that how I choose to think creates my personal experience. And so it is. That celebrate just got me going, guys. Is there anyone here joining us for the very first time? That's the regulars. Got the locals. Announcements for any upcoming events are in your program each week, along with our HDCSL daily affirmations to use. So please take it home with you to keep handy. Current events happening in our center can also be found online through our social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram. We also have our HDCSL monthly calendar found on our website as well. First, the center page, y'all. And that'll be beautiful. Thank you. Today, right after service, we have a special self-love sound bath with Tamara right here in the sanctuary. The suggested donation for this event is $25. Wednesday, February 15th, we have our monthly drum circle with Janet Ambe. The participation fee for this is $10. Saturday, February 18th, we have our 70s themed fundraiser dance hosted by the HDCSL Fun Crew and DJ Steve Colucci. Light refreshments will be served. Advance tickets are $15 or $20 at the door. This event is open to all. Come dance and have a great time. Frank, would you like to make that announcement?
As you know, it's springtime. Well, almost. It's not cold right now. This Saturday, 8:30. Come join us. We'll be doing a little more pruning, but we're also going to be replacement planting because we have a number of small bushes that didn't make it this last summer. So come on down and join the party in the domes. Good to see you at 8:30 this Saturday.
Brandy has a special announcement that she wanted to share. We still have a few tickets left for the virtual CSL Vista Convention happening later this month. If you are interested in purchasing a spot, the cost is $75. Please connect with Brandy. If you have any questions about these events or anything happening here at the center, please stop by the concierge table or reach out to the office throughout the week. I now welcome our practitioner of the day, Judy St. Clair.
Please join me as we read Dr. Ernest Holmes' promises together. They are on the front page of your program and on the screen, I believe. I keep the promises that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily seek this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy, with the realization of some limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And lighting the flames of faith. We perform the flames of faith ceremony to provide the universal consciousness of the life which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the 5th candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the 6th candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the 7th candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the 9th candle, acknowledging all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual practices. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcomed here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of Spirit's eternal love. And let us continue that presence, the divine spirituality, the reality here present in this room, wherever we go. We are surrounded, held in its arms, nurtured by Spirit. We are one and ever expanding to the possibilities that are beyond our present thinking. We open our minds and hearts to that which is, to that which can be, to that which is us. We are one, united. I give thanks for the beauty of this experience, of this wonderful center and all of its members, our church family. We are one. And we open our hearts and minds to those things that are greater than us, so that we may see how great we truly are. I love and bless every volunteer and every worker at this center, knowing without them, we would not be here. I give thanks for these wonderful gifts of these people and of all of our members, as together we say, and so it is.
It's a pleasure to welcome back our guest speaker today. Reverend Carol Lotz is an ordained minister who has been immersed in science of mind and metaphysics for 30 years. She is the hospital chaplain at the Ventura County Medical Center. She provides spiritual support to patients and families facing trauma, injury, or serious illness. Reverend Carol is a heart-centered guest speaker with a strong musical background. She often performs as guest soloist in addition to speaking. Reverend Carol is a seasoned youth and family programs director. She values the importance of teaching foundational principles to children of all ages. Reverend Carol is the published author of her first children's book titled My Friend Ernest. A children's book of spiritual empowerment, which we still have copies left for sale in the bookstore. It's a great. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Reverend Carol Watts.
I'm going to start out over here. Thank you so much for welcoming me back. I'm going to start over here with Chris and sing my love song to God with you and for you.
So
Good morning to God morning, right? Thank you so much again for having me back. And I call that my love song to God because it really is our first two steps of affirmative prayer. It's all about God as the sun and the moon and the stars. And then there is this pure, powerful truth that I am that too. It wasn't just about God, it was about me too. And I'm not special. It's true for all of us. And we separate ourselves from the love of God. God does not separate from us. There are some places that tell us we're broken, we're unlovable, we're not worthy. Many of us carry that truth somewhere in some aspect of our life that shows up. And there's our work. There's our work to love ourselves the way that God loves us. Because the words of that song, when we recognize that God is all is, the first step of affirmative prayer, we know that God is everything. And we are not saying that we are everything, but everything we are is God. God is not just love. God is the creator of love. And that's how you got here. That's how I got here. And so this song kind of goes right to the heart, does it not? Because it's true. Truth resonates in the heart. The rest spirals in the mind. But what's in the heart resonates as truth. And in that song, it was about a partnership. Even though God is more than I am that too. And that God is why I am. It's how I am, how we are. And the line that I love the most is that when we recognize that God is pure love, we take it in to ourselves and are different for that. We are more for that. The old broken story of who we are cannot stand up to this feeling. To the feeling of being in the presence and the power of truth. And God's truth is that you are loved. Now, what's in the way of that? Feeling that all the time. Or who's in the way of that? So what or who usually is in the way of us feeling loved all the time? Well, I want to share a story about a monk. You know how peaceful monks are. They got it together, right? Well, they practice. Practice is good, but we practice, we get good at. So he practices meditation, and he's sitting in the middle of a lake in a boat. And the water is still, and it's calm, and he's meditating, and he's at peace, and he's at one, and he's in the stillness of all that is, and oh my God, it's so easy to be perfect here. Until he was jolted out of his meditation by a bang into his boat. Something ran into his boat. Instant peace gone. After 3 hours of meditation, it was like he didn't even do it. He was angry. So he gets ready to yell at whoever ran into him, and he stands up in his boat, and he looks at the empty boat, stunned, and realized there was nobody there. It was him. The anger is what he carried inside. And so it's part of what we do when we get fooled and we go missing on ourselves and we lose ourselves in life, that we look outside of ourselves. But there was no choice but to just see himself there. And he couldn't blame anyone. He couldn't point to, you did this to me. He wasn't a victim of an empty boat. Believe me, if someone was in that boat, it wouldn't have been pretty. But he was looking at himself and thought, uh-oh, now what do I do? It's me, myself, and I. And so that's why I wanted to call this talk the Love Boat. It's not about a cruise ship. Even though life is kind of like a cruise ship, it's all here for us. You can eat everything at once and feel sick, or you can take your time and enjoy it. Can see the world. But no, it's not about a cruise. It's about your boat, which is the consciousness of you in life, which is the moving water. Water is changing. Sometimes it turns into big waves, sometimes it's still, sometimes it's powerful as a representative of life, because the water changes and so do we. The circumstances of our life teach us things. And I know as a chaplain in the hospital, I use water a lot as healing. Water and color, like having movement within you, move inside like a river, just washing away anything that does not serve us. And the imagery is powerful. But for this boat, love boat, and it's so important to find love and bring it to the unloving thoughts. Because for that monk in the boat, he had a choice to immediately stop being angry because no one was there to blast off at, or to look inside himself and go, anger is within me. It was triggered by this, but it's what's in me is mine. What am I angry about? It's okay to be angry. It happens, right? It's part of the waters of life, bring things to bump into us, and then we don't feel like we are anchored anywhere. We feel loose in the water. And that's okay, but it's what you do about it. There's so much in life that we cannot control what happens, but we certainly can control who we become through it all. That's the power we have, but we have to know. Do you know how you're feeling right now? If you closed your eyes and went, if somebody bumped into me, what would come out? What would that be today? What would that be right now? It's not your whole story. It's not the whole book. It's not the whole journey. It's not the whole ride. It's right now in this moment. And when we don't look in, we just get activated without. And so to be in the awareness of what you are feeling right now gives you the power to react or respond. The monk reacted when he found out there was nobody there, turned into a thoughtful response. And so self-love, oh my gosh, if we loved ourselves the way God loved us, we could go through the difficulties of our life and go, this isn't a punishment. So many people feel like when they get cancer, it's a punishment. They've tried to find what's wrong with them, why God would be so mad. What did I do? Why did this happen? And then the discovery of what you're trying to figure out about why you could have this difficulty, who's doing this to you and why, you lose the most important thing that you need through the difficulty. Any guesses? Yourself. Yourself. Your thoughts are going to soothe you. Your thoughts are going to help you. Your thoughts and your beliefs about what is true about you is how you can go through anything. And Emmett Fox has this incredible metaphysical interpretation of Noah's Ark. And it's really powerful for this conversation because he says that the ark is a state of mental sanctuary. It is a boat of consciousness that we build. And so the stronger your ark within you, the more power and love you have to move through life's difficulties. And even though we have others on the ark with us, that we are the most important person in our own ark. We love to have other people come in and help us be happy. We love to have other people like-minded so we don't get so afraid in the mystery. We love to commune with like-minded because we actually, what we do many times when we live in fear is we put God in a box. And God is not in a box, neither is religion, and neither are we. That our consciousness, our ark of consciousness, is the common denominator through every single day of life. And so, how do we live in this boat? How do we live in this boat and create a bigger, expanded, more aware place to handle the storms of life? Well, Emmett Fox, in his Noah's Ark story, talks about the thoughts that we have are represented by the animals on the ark. The birds are elevated thought. They fly high, they fly above. Anytime we think of something above us, it's a lift. Butterflies, dragonflies, anything that flies is representative of one of our highest thoughts that's not attached. Well, then there's the creepy crawly snakes and lizards and that stuff. And they're very close to the ground. That's where we're stuck. That's where we're stubborn. Those are the thoughts that we have that we're right. And it doesn't matter if you're alone, you're right. That's the most important thing with those thoughts. And then there's the mundane thoughts, the cows and the sheep and the pigs and the cute animals, the dogs and the cats and all that. And those are the thoughts that just float by. They don't really elevate us and they don't really ground us to the ground. But the animals. And so when the ship was built, here's the coolest thing about this ship. And it would be so cool if our own ship could be like this. The one where you're alone in the water with you, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I in the boat. There are not any windows except for one. And there are no windows around the whole ark for the reason to trust more than you can see. You do not see the storm coming, even though you know it's there, because our eyes trick us and our eyes fool us and our eyes separate us from what our deep truth is. And so if you can't see the storm, what you do is you look through the one window that is built in the ark, and it's a tiny window above. So to remember to look up. To look up. And that is the golden key. To keep your mind off the problem and keep your mind on God. Well, if God is within us, which is what we believe, but we think that's too big to really embody sometimes. Right? Is it hard for you to believe that God is within? Is that hard? Or are you practicing so you get good at it? Seeing God in everyone else, seeing God everywhere, that's when you know it's in you. Because your thoughts about God are really your thoughts. Your thoughts about someone else are really yours. And they're in that boat with you by yourself. So building your ark of consciousness, what would that look like? Would it be, I'm not enough, life is scary, I don't know anything, I'm unlovable? If that is your ark from which you hold yourself, then a real storm of life will come. And it's so easy to sink from that place. I see it every day. But You have choices to work on it before you need it. I know that the patients that come into the hospital that never thought about these things, they can't find it in the extreme difficulty. But the patients who bring it with them, oh, they can smile through everything. They can see God in everything. They can see that the most difficult things have beauty and love, and they do not feel forsaken. They feel blessed. That is the effect of this cause, to build your faith. So you can sit in that boat with you alone and know that you are not alone. You have an unlimited God with you. The power and presence of a mighty God in which we make small with our thoughts. He never does. Neither does she. They, as God, are not small. We get mixed up with who we are and who God is. So you're sitting in this ark and the storm's coming, and you have all these thoughts. And the raven that flies out is symbolic of the negative thought that destroys the ark. One thought can destroy 100 pieces of powerful ark. So when the raven goes out and it does not come back with the olive branch, it is because there is doubt there. They forgot who they were in that minute. And then the dove finds land and says, yes, here it is. And so this story reminds us that we can build an ark of consciousness, and not one that just says the words, but one that takes it into our soul and ensouls it as powerful truth. And then that goes with you everywhere you are. That is the ark from which you stand on sometimes difficult ground, but always sacred ground. And you need you. You're the most important person in your life. You need you. So many go missing on themselves. How do we do that? Well, one more story for you. There's a story of a master teacher who wanted to help his student not be so bitter and complaining all the time. I call it the 3 C's. I try to catch myself and flip them over when I'm in the 3 C's. Comparison, criticism, complaining. And this student happened to be doing all 3. And just weakens your arc. It really does. It really does. So the teacher says, okay, tomorrow when you come, I want you to bring a cup of salt and a glass. He says, okay. So the student comes, he has no idea what for. This is in Mark Niebuhr's book of Awakenings, powerful story. And he says, come back with that. So the morning he comes back and he goes to the lake. He takes his student to the lake and he says, now first we're going to take the glass and put the salt in the glass. Half of the salt in the glass. So the salt is in this glass of water, and he says, now drink it. So he drinks it, and he's spitting it out because it was so disgusting and bitter. All he tasted was salt. So then a little while later, they took the other half a cup of salt that he split in half, one for the glass, and put the other half in the lake, the same amount of salt. He placed it in the lake and scattered it around. And the master teacher said, now, I want you to cup it in your hands and take a taste after throwing the salt in the lake. And so he drank, and the teacher said, "How was that?" He's like, "Oh, refreshing, wonderful. Oh, it tastes so good." And the master teacher said, "Salt is the pain in this earth. Salt are the painful experiences, and they're the same for everyone. Pain comes, that's true. But the container from which we hold it is the difference. Stop being a glass, become the lake." Right? Capacity within. If you bring love to unloving thoughts, you make space, you become a lake. If you're in self-bashing, you're in the bitterness of salt everywhere. And it will sting your eyes. It will burn your skin. And when there is a bigger container, when we become bigger inside, we can hold so much more differently. So wherever you're a glass, become the lake. And that is a gift you give yourself, a gift of love. So you can sit in your boat, think about what it is that keeps you constricted and small inside. Bring love to that. Goes, is there anything about me that's small? No. And when I open to loving myself more, God has more space to come in. Right? Love has more space to fill, and life gets so much better when we do. Love creates beauty and joy. The more space you have for that, the more life fills. So in honor of Valentine's Day, I asked a patient who has been devastated by loss of a child. He is sick himself. He's been through everything imaginable and unthinkable, and he cried the whole time. And I asked him, I said, "It's Valentine's Day. If you could write a Valentine's to God, what would you say?" And he cried, and he thought about it, and he cried some more. And I waited. And his response was, I would say, "Thank you, God. I would say thank you, because love is telling me, myself, that everything I've been through is to help me become a better man. And that's love. We learn through difficulty. We learn through challenges. That's the salt. He became the ocean that day. And gratitude healed him, uplifted him, and blessed me in that moment as well. I think it's really true what Rumi says. We are not a drop in the ocean. We are an ocean in a drop. Know who you are. Love who you are. Move through the tough stuff. Don't get stuck in it and piled underneath a bunch of judgment, because that keeps us stuck. Pour water, pour light, pour healing energy. Do whatever it takes to move through the difficulty, not shut down in it, but move through it, to heal it, and then it sees, it feels, and knows you as the ocean, not a drop. The drop becomes the pain as the ocean heals it. So, happy Valentine's Day. May you know and feel and be the love that God never wavers towards you. Please sail your boats in an arc of conscious love, because what we practice we get good at. Much love to all of you. Namaste.
special guy going to help us sing it. This is called The Power to Change. You all have it.
Let's give a hand for the choir, y'all. And thank you very much for that. This is our giving time. Please take a moment to join me in appreciation for this beautiful community and our philosophy. We know we live in an abundant universe. There's always more than enough to share and to spare. We use this time to open up the flow of abundance and circulate that energy with gratitude and love. Because we appreciate you and your contributions, we make it easy for you to give. In addition to placing your offering in the basket today, there are various ways that you can contribute to our center. You can use the Vanco app on your smartphone or tablet. You can also visit our website at www.hi-desertcsl.org To make a donation, select the Donate button. Or you may drop off your donation throughout the week and also send it by mail. We appreciate you for supporting our center. Because of you, our service and this beautiful experience together continues to be possible. Thank you. Now, I invite the ushers to come forward, and we thank you for your service here today as well. Please join me in reading aloud our Declaration of Affirmative Giving, located inside your program on the left side and also on the monitors. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
When you give, you will receive. It's a fact you can believe. Let it go and you will see. It returns abundantly. Repeat this promise from your heart. I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and know your gift will do its part. Helping people from the start. God supplies us endlessly with a love that we can't see. But it's there, we know it's true. God is deep inside of you. Repeat this promise from your heart. I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and know your gift will do its part. Helping people from the start. God supplies us endlessly with a love that we can't see. But it's there, we know it's true. God is deep inside of you. God is deep inside of you. And he is she.
Okay. All right, so we're just going to say a blessing here to just thank you, God, for the abundance, for the knowing that giving is receiving and receiving is giving both, and that this beautiful church, this beautiful center, continues to thrive and move outside the doors into the neighborhoods, into the world in a beautiful, positive place, because abundance is real and it is happening here, and it continues to bless the community and the world and each member here, because we cannot give what we do not have. So knowing we have allows us to give. What a powerful and beautiful place to serve, to give, to know, to trust, to love, to become more, and to stretch and expand in beautiful and powerful ways, including our giving. Thank you, God. And I release, and I let go, and I trust it all. And so it is.
And so it is.
Now I invite the practitioners to join us on stage, please. Our practitioner team is here to serve you. The prayer request box is in the garden room under the picture of our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. Our practitioners' phone numbers are on the back side of your program. Please reach out to one of our experienced and licensed practitioners for prayer, especially if you're going through a challenge in your life. They are here to know the truth for you and are available after service for spiritual support if you need. Thank you to those who have joined us in person and those joining us online or watching the playback. We will see you next Sunday, February 18th, for service with Reverend Michael Corcoran, followed by our monthly board meeting. All are welcome to stay and attend. Have a great weekend. Now I invite Judy to read our affirmation for today.
I'm going to read it once, then I'm asking you to join me. I am Spirit's divine nature awakening. I am Spirit's divine nature awakening. Once more. I am Spirit's divine nature awakening. Have a great week, everyone. We love you.
Makes me feel so good, I can do